on how to manage the stress, how to play on the main stage? Have they mentored you on that?
Yeah, just take it like it's any other game we play, and it's helped a lot. I'm just thinking about one game at a time and just focus on the game. Don't think about what's like how many people are watching. Just play the game. It helps. Yes.
Who do you want to see in the grand final?
Liquid.
That was a very quick answer. Why?
For Matumpa, man, my Finnish brother.
You think he's watching right now?
I don't know, but maybe.
He's coming for you, Matumba. He's coming for you. One last thing. You have a lot of fans now, and you have before, but something the analyst said was people all over the world who are watching this are probably new OG fans. Is there anything you want to say, considering that you, a year ago right now, were one of them watching TI?
Just thanks so much, everyone who's supporting for us. It really means a lot, and I couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you.
So you can see them on the monitor there. Cheering for you. That's all for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the grand final of TI8. Holy crap. I feel like your mom. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Brings a tear to my eye. We'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Casey, and thank you, Thompson, for taking the time. I mean, the story writes itself for OG right now. But March, I mean, what do you say after a game like that, right? I mean, the ending, you couldn't call that one way or the other.
It was a very close game, and then I feel like everything's like working out for OG somehow. Like that game, like it didn't matter at the end too much, but there was arcane room for Pugna to just secure it. Like maybe if they didn't have the arcane rune, they couldn't have finished it. I couldn't actually take a look at it for sure, but like as soon as I saw the arcane rune on the Pugna, that looked like everything was kind of working out for OG, and then I don't know.
Yeah, I mean things overall in the big picture definitely falling into place for OG. Obviously, a lot of effort put in by the team. I mean, OG in the grand finals. CCNC, did anybody expect this?
I don't think so. I think, I mean, you know, the Liquid Dota power ranking or whatever, they were like 18th. And I didn't really agree with that. We played them in scrims and stuff, and they were quite strong. You know, they have this very unique style of playing. They pick kind of strange heroes. They do weird stuff. And, you know, they've pulled it together. They were, you know, doing well in scrims, and they're doing even better here. Like, it's just kind of this magical run almost. They're playing really well in every game. There's like this, you know, this very teamy vibe about them. I feel like they're the most team-ish team, if you know what I mean.
At TI6, would you say they are similar to that?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well, once again, OG going to the grand finals. Of course, their opponents not out. They will be having a second chance in the lower bracket finals. And right now, Machine has a chance to hear from FY.
Very much, Chobra. I am joined by FY, and we have, of course, Josh standing by for translation. What a game of Dota. I mean, that was chaos right down to the last minute. 50-50 last minute. My question is, can you explain what's happening in your team communication in that booth during the last 2-3 minutes of crazy Dota?
这刚才那是一个就是很疯狂、难以置信的一局嘛，然后最后几分钟就一直50-50，大老师的一个评价嘛，然后就是请问你们最后几分钟在里面的沟通是大概怎么样的？
沟通就很正常吧，然后可能就是拆基地那波，然后出了点问题。
Our team communication in the booth was pretty standard, it was normal. It was just the last push on the throne. I think we had a problem.
Now, it's not over yet. The journey here for LGD continues. You could have a best of 3 and a best of 5 tomorrow, playing against the winner of EG and Liquid. Who does he think is going to take that game, and is he feeling prepared for what could be a long day of Dota tomorrow?
那你们的路还没有走完，就是明天可能又要打个 BO3， 又要打个 BO5， 但是你们先要面对 EG 和 Liquid 之间的胜者，然后就请问你们觉得会面对谁？
应该是液体吧，然后他们交手过2比0嘛，对吧？然后我们也比较希望打液体吧。
I feel that we'll be facing Liquid next. We played them before, it was 2-0, so we kind of hope that we'll be able to face them again.
Thank you so much, FY. I mean, the LGD fans have been amazing. This is the last thing I just want you to tell him, that if you can't hear them, LGD fans have been chanting for 3 hours straight.
最后就是裁判员想跟你说一下，这个现场 LG 的粉丝很燃，就是一直3个小时一直为你们呐喊欢呼。
If I open this door, I don't know if this is going to work. If I open this door, you should be able to hear them. LGD fans, are you still there? I think we'll head back to the desk.
Thank you, Machine. And, of course, thank you, FY, for taking the time. Like we mentioned, of course, PSG LGD not out. They will be going down and waiting for the lower bracket final. But as Machine mentioned, that means that there's a potential very long day ahead of them tomorrow, Winter, and that can take a toll.
Yeah, I think we've seen them. What was the tournament? I think it was DAC. They played the losers bracket final, and then they played the winners. And they said in an interview it was really exhausting. Even when they lost, the coach actually answered that. I think they already have some experience in playing very long days, so maybe this time they could make it work.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at the bracket as it's almost all filled out. There it is, EG Liquid coming up next, and PSG LGD will be waiting for the winner of that match tomorrow. And look at that top portion. OG, the last one standing in the upper bracket, waiting for the grand final. I mean, this is not an image that many of us, or perhaps any of us, thought we were going to be looking at the panel here today when we started the main stage. I mean, March, how impressed are you at OG's play?
Like, very impressed. Like, I was competing with them in Wind and Rain back in the EU qualifier, and we had a super close games with them. And I mean, I felt they had potential, but I couldn't believe that. I just don't believe it right now. They're here, and then they're in the grand finals.
Yeah, this is how far they've come. CCNC, you mentioned something earlier as well that some of us have discussed on the panel about, you know, OG kind of playing some unique ways, right? Some unique heroes. They don't quite necessarily follow the norm, the meta. Do you think that gives them an advantage as TI continues to go on?
I think it can in some regards. I think as it gets to the very final stages, you know, they're obviously at the final stage. It's like not so much about the unique heroes you play as it is like adapting to what other people do and kind of realizing like, oh, this hero is gaining, you know, priority, and like, you know, if some hero is, you know, being picked 2-3 or something, and it's, you know, sort of dominating the series, that you realize, okay, we're going to take that up a notch. We're going to pick, you know, first pick it, or we're going to ban that, and, you know, kind of staying ahead of the curve. So having your own heroes and stuff, and having these bans like being forced because you play these weird heroes is like very useful, but you also kind of want to stay ahead of the curve.
Of course. And Winner, on that note, I mean, obviously, Thompson kind of comes to mind when talking about unique heroes. Do you think that that hero pool for Thompson is starting to kind of dry out, or is it still an advantage that OG gets to hold on to?
I mean, it's definitely an advantage. Like what Quinn mentioned, you're going to force out all these bans, and he actually plays I think enough heroes. He doesn't really just play like 2 or 3. He has like 4 to 5 heroes, and the last game he showed that he was really, really good at the hero, that he understands the hero he was building is Necrobolt, and he decided, oh, the game is actually going to go for a long haul, and he scrapes the Necrobolt and goes for a more late game build.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, OG goes to the grand finals. But in the meantime, we have another match coming up today. It is Evo Geniuses versus Team Liquid here in the lower bracket, round 5, as they determine who gets to meet PSG LGD. The teams are ready, and the first team to enter the arena will be Team Liquid. Big round of applause for Team Liquid as they enter the arena. Of course, the reigning champions from last year of TI7 got knocked down, in fact, by PSG LGD to the lower bracket. So they're fighting for more than just another shot at the championship. They want to win this match, go for another revenge match against PSG LGD. But first, their first opponent today will be Evo Geniuses. Evil Geniuses returns to the stage as they continue their grueling path through the lower bracket. Coming off of a win against Virtus.pro yesterday, Evil Geniuses, of course, their run in the upper bracket was in fact ended by OG. So both teams looking for a shot at redemption as they come in and face each other. I mean, these two teams, of course, just as teams overall and even as players, so much history behind them, Winter.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a very exciting matchup. Yeah, like a lot of people want to see like EG move forward as well as Liquid move forward. So just can't wait to see like who gets a better hand here.
Yeah, CCNC, I mean, just at first glance, kind of where are we favoring here given the run that they've both had and, of course, even throughout the year in the past year?
I mean, if you look at the scope of the entire year, I think Liquid's most definitely favored. They've had, you know, like a little bit of shaky of a year, like by Liquid standards, but, you know, by any other team standards, they've had a very, very good year. They won the Super Major. Like, Liquid is just an extremely good team, and EG's had, like, this, you know, sort of shaky past, but with the addition of, with Fly and S4, they've been doing really, really well. They have, like, meshed. I think they really enjoy playing with each other as a team, and that sort of camaraderie, I think, like, helps a lot. Like, if you look at these last 4 teams that are alive, you know, like there's a lot of camaraderie. They enjoy playing with each other, and I think this comfort that you feel natural playing these games, like it helps a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's been a running theme as we talk to captains or coaches as well about not just in the booth, but even outside of it. March, I mean, we've talked a lot about Evil Geniuses, especially on our panel as they've lined up for our matches. I mean, their draft, right? We talked about their laning phase. How do you think that matches up against Team Liquid?
I think it matches pretty even. I think they're the two teams that are leading in this current meta where they focus a lot on the laning phase. For EG's side, I think if Sumail gets a good laning phase with draft focused around them, like Storm Spirit they had yesterday, I think they will do better, is what I feel.
All right, and Winter, are you looking for anything in particular to change as we're going into here, or are we just looking at both teams kind of playing what they're best at and seeing who's better in individual pure skill?
I think if I'm Liquid, I would try to focus on shutting Sumail down. I would try to figure ways, maybe kill the courier at level 1, try to smoke, or I would do everything I can in the early game to try and possibly shut Sumail down. I don't want that guy on that team to get a good start.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of attention to Sumail, but I mean, EG's roster, right? It's hard to really pinpoint any one player. CCNC, what are your thoughts behind that? I mean, is trying to shut down Sumail early going to be enough?
I think it's kind of tricky sometimes to, like, put a lineup around trying to shut a particular player down because sometimes drafts just don't pan out that way. They save the last pick for him, or you know you're forced to pick another hero, and then suddenly you just you aren't able to play around shutting down a particular hero. Something I am kind of curious about for how this draft goes is if how Broodmother will be treated. If EG's going to first phase ban it, if they're going to say, all right, you're going to pick this Brood, we know you're going to pick this Brood, we have a response that we're confident in, we're going to try and beat it. I think that'll be kind of interesting.
Would you say like in this kind of matchups, it's actually better to have the last pick, the overall last pick?
Yeah, I think whenever you, I'm not sure which pick these teams prefer. It's kind of swayed a lot back and forth through this tournament. Like teams will take Radiant, teams take first pick, second pick. It's kind of random. But I think it can be a nice sort of fallback for this Storm or Alchemist, your star player.
He's been doing really well on 3 heroes, Tiny, Storm, Alchemist. So if you want to pick these heroes, you want to be on the last pick.
Right, just really secure it for Sumail. And we saw that to great success, of course, in the past couple days as well. Well, we talked a little bit about the draft. I mean, the stories here are pretty obvious in and of themselves. Obviously, on Team Liquid's end, reigning champions trying to go for a second title with the same roster, now trying to battle, I mean, once again, actually, not that unfamiliar to them, from the lower bracket. Then on the other side, we have Evil Geniuses, and especially being in Vancouver, you can't help but mention the story of Arteezy, right? I mean, such a historied player, and he's so close this time, March, to getting a title, but hasn't gotten it yet. How much do you think it's going to matter to him to be able to beat the reigning champions and then go through for another revenge match?
You're talking for Arteezy,
yeah,
right?
for Arteezy.
I don't know. I think it's important for him to, overcome some inconsistency in him. And then I'm worried about. To be honest, I'm worried about the most from the EG side.
Yeah, because you've been saying that you always see that. He's been out of position, he's getting caught, and in the game that they lost, he was laughing away when he got tossed into it. He still feels like they were gonna win the game, Like those kind of small little things, it cannot happen at this level.
Quinn, like you play with him a lot and against him a lot. Do you think like he's playing different from like what he's used to be playing, or do you think pressure is getting to him?
I think it's a little bit hard to say if the pressure's getting to him or not. I do think he's an extremely good player, and I think, like, you know, sort of going back to this team comfort thing, I think whenever, like, you know, get into these like later matches stuff and you play these very good teams, players will tend to just sort of step up to the challenge if they feel comfortable with their teammates, if they feel supported. Like, you know, Thompson said, if people have a bad game, you know, it's all right. You know, it's fine. You know, you just keep playing. You play this next game. You look forward, and I think EG have that mindset. So I think, you know, if people say he's had shaky performances, I think he'll absolutely step up in the series.
I mean, do you think that they are probably like trying to be maybe a little too over-reliant on Sumel to get the good games and, you know, carry the games more, so everyone else is maybe a little bit more too sacrificial for him sometimes and just over-relying on him?
Maybe, but I also think they just like playing around him. They think he's the best player in the world. You know, he, like Sumel said, he gets what he wants. You know, if he thinks a hero is good, they're going to pick him that hero because they believe in him.
Right. Yeah, and so far in the lower bracket, it's worked to their advantage. But of course, we'll see if it can hold up again in this matchup against Team Liquid. I think that dynamic, and I think you brought up a good point, is that as they face yet another challenge, will we see that dynamic shift a little bit as it's needed? Or maybe they just overpower Team Liquid with the common strategies and the kind of comfort level they've had before. For Team Liquid, again, I think the story for them has been that, I think you put it perfectly, CCNC, it's a performance that any other team would be very happy with, right? It's been pretty good, and they finished strong in the year. Obviously, coming into TI, they looked pretty strong as well. But for a reigning champion, Winter, probably not satisfactory in how they've played so far.
No, these guys are not going to be satisfied until they win 2 TIs, 3 TIs, 4 TIs, as much as they can win. They want to be the best team ever in Dota.
Yeah. Do you think that, March, that they're keeping that confidence level despite how the brackets have turned out?
Yeah, I think that's like helping them a lot. Like a lot of people, like after they win, like I knew from hearing from them that as soon as they won, they're like, if anyone doesn't want to win the TI twice in a row, they can lead a team right now, right after they won. And those kind of like mentality is what keep them good until now. Like they keep trying hard. Like everyone's like still motivated. That's very important for the.
I think also, like we kind of talked about this like draft. You know, it's sort of evolving and stuff, and I think these players are always thinking about heroes, always thinking about the picks, and, you know, like how to evolve the draft and be that one step ahead.
All right, well, speaking of the draft, we are about to get underway. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next match here in the lower bracket.
Evo Geniuses versus Team Liquid. Game 1.
Evo Geniuses versus Liquid in a best of 3. The winner of this match will face PSG LGD tomorrow morning. We're getting into that first game and the first draft. We talked about a couple points that we want to look for here in the draft, Broodmother being one. Winner, are you looking for any other heroes that might be kind of rising in contention or might be new in contention here in this matchup?
Not really though. I think everything else will be the same. I'm still really interested to see like who is first pick and who is second pick, because I think that would determine a lot of the direction of the draft, what heroes that you want to ban. So yeah.
How do you think they'll treat Wisp? Because we've seen both teams kind of play it. Both teams have mixed success with it.
I feel like if Silencer is in the pool, they might actually let it through, because I think Silencer is really, really good against the relocate. But I'm not sure if it's a fair trade. Well, so Silencer's banned?
Banned out.
Never mind.
Well, we just found out Team Liquid banning out that Silencer.
So EG is first pick.
Indeed. And there's that Brood ban from EG that we discussed. Not letting it go through to Liquid just yet.
I like the Broodmother ban in a way, like if you take a look at the tournament in the long term, like all the other teams don't play it, so why do you put an effort to beat it, right? So just get it over with here, ban it, and think about the better strategy that you can maybe bring it on to later into the tournament as well.
And with the Venge ban, that leaves quite a few heroes that we've seen earlier on in the main stage having high contention open, despite 2 bans still being left in this phase.
Yeah, I think these teams have had similar priority for first phase hero for a lot of first phase heroes for a lot of this tournament. The Venge, especially the Weaver, stuff like this. Like EG and Liquid have both been very big proponents of like first picking this Venge. And so now when it's out the pool, like since they share similar pools, we may see like a more diverse hero pool as the draft goes on, because they kind of take each other's heroes because they share a similar pool.
All right.
Do you think that Phoenix could be like a good replacement for that role, or mediocre?
I think it could be. I mean, I think Fly plays a really, really good Phoenix, and it, with a lot of, the Silencer banned, the Broodmother banned, like, with a lot of these heroes banned, it could, turn out being a good pick, like out the phase or, even on 4 or something.
Yeah, we've seen that Phoenix pop up quite a few times for EG as well.
Yeah, I think Liquid only, maybe one time, but it wasn't so impressive. I mean, I mentioned it a lot that I think Fly has been the best Phoenix player at the tournament so far.
Seems like a likely pick later in the draft.
So they're going to be thinking about whether they want to ban the Wiz, lift the Wiz, or the Weaver you mentioned earlier. Those are all the potential really, really good first picks for them.
I have a question for you. Ask you, like, we have seen Drow really popular, but I haven't seen a Drow first pick in particular. Is there a reason behind that?
I think, in a lot of games, the Broodmother isn't banned, right? And you can get 2-3 Brood, and it kind of, can suck. With Brood banned in this game, I feel like there's just better heroes in a lot of cases, and Drow has, situations where she can be abused. She's not the strongest laner.
I mean, I like to pick the Drow if I'm first pick, because I pick one hero, they pick 2. Then I'm more comfortable picking the Drow after that, but I'm not comfortable if they first pick one hero and I pick 2, and the Drow is among that 2. That's what I'm not comfortable with for me.
Because it leaves open a response to that Drow.
An extra response towards the Drow.
Yeah, and generally, I think almost every time, maybe not 100%, but almost every time it has been that last pick of the first phase where Drow gets picked up if it's early on in the draft.
How do you feel about the CM here on Omarch? Because I know you were like a big proponent of it during the qualifiers and stuff.
Well, I was a CM spammer. I still believe she's pretty good, and then like the mana regen, the mana cost for the hero is affected a lot when you're position 4 and 3 because you have to keep on playing aggressive. But as position 5, sometimes you can sit behind your carrier using the parity. So for position 3 and 4, I don't think she's good anymore. But
he's still a fan of
position 5 is really good. But I'll still play her in position 3 if I get a chance.
Still trying to push for it. Well, there's that Weaver that we discussed being first picked by EG. Of course, the last ban on Liquid side was Gyro.
Is it a fair trade, Quinn? IO for Weaver? Because IO is bad against Weaver.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably their idea for first picking the Weaver. And Liquid bans the Gyro because they don't want a 2-3 Gyro against a first pick Wisp, right? So it's like kind of this, drafting gymnastics.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a really good point.
So, I mean, I'm sure Liquid theorized this scenario coming up. So I'm sure they have like heroes they're willing to respond to this Weaver with because they knew that EG is going to bump the priority on this hero up. Like they're going to take it on that first pick. They're going to say, deal with this hero.
Bloodseeker, what do you think deals with Weaver really well?
I mean, there's like the traditional ones like the Bloodseeker and the Void, stuff like this, but those heroes can be kind of hard to, pick in the first phase. There's a Nyx that Liquid has played a decent amount that's pretty good against the Weaver and also not bad in the lane either that they could, maybe go for.
Is Io not such a good hero without the Gyrocopter anymore?
It's not as good, I think, and it's also just kind of spooky against Weaver in the lane and in the game.
Still taking a bit of a gamble, and there's that Enchantress, of course, has been pretty high priority throughout the entire International as well.
Yeah, so I mean, the IO Ench is a very, very strong dual offlane. You just keep hitting people. You just never stop hitting, and you can't really kick them out the lane. They have like way too much regen with the Tether and Spirits.
Maybe they had a different option than picking Enchantress, but I think picking IO and Enchantress kind of stops EG from taking the Drow Ranger here, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
Blocking that off just a little bit. Of course, that's been a very big part in EG's
But I would
path.
still consider it though because it makes the Weaver pick so much more stronger, and I don't really care so much about my lane. I just want my team's lane to go well, if I'm the Drow. As long as maybe I have a Bane or a strong support in the lane or I'm dying, which could be possibly picked in the second phase to to cover up the weakness of the Drow in the laning phase. I think that would be a fine idea there for them.
And there's an Ursa coming out for EG.
Oh, these two heroes are often talked about their laning phase, like how well they can lane, where they can lane, and the flexibility of the heroes. Ursa is really, really good against Ench. But I guess it goes both ways against the Ench because you can debuff the overpower. But Quinn, do you think it's possible that the Ursa be played as a support in this position here?
I think it's pretty unlikely for EG. They haven't done it a single time, and I think Arteezy is really, really comfortable on that hero. S4's even played it a couple times, but I think most likely it'll lane against the Ench. He skills Clap level 1, and they, will generally get another support with wave clear, and they kind of just push the wave in. Like this Wisp Ench, right? They can't really deal with, this wave pushing into them. They're going to be forced to last it. They can't harass you as much. So they'll just keep clapping and using whatever the nuke is and just pushing the lane and just farming.
I like the Alchemist ban here because Alchemist synergizes really well with Ursa and Weaver in general. They're both good axe carrier.
And they are active cores, kind of, because you kind of want like heroes that can hold the game for you while you're farming the Radiance, and those two heroes are perfect for that scenario.
And especially when they EG ban the Bloodseeker, which is really good counter to Alchemist as well.
So the draft gymnastics continue between these two teams as they know each other quite well, of course, and sharing similar ideas. There's the Drow ban actually from EG. Do you think that was necessary from EG's side?
I don't think EG has a room to use it as a core in this situation because they already have two side laners, right?
Weaver also struggles quite a bit against the Drow. The silence is like super annoying. It's very hard to itemize against. So your like third or fourth item or something deals with this silence. So for the vast majority of the game, you're kind of just food. You miss step one time, you get gusted, you just die.
All right.
So in this scenario, would you prefer the Phoenix over the Wyvern? I guess the next pick is going to be the support. So which one do you prefer here? Like let's say for EG.
I feel like they're both pretty good. They both kind of synergize with how this Ursa wants to play the lane. Maybe Phoenix is like a little bit less in this just spamming out the wave style, but the spirits are pretty nice, and it's probably annoying for Ench to play against. You spirit him while the Ursa casually pushes in the wave and stuff. You can spirit the wave even potentially. Maybe you could theorize Wyvern's kind of nice against Ogre because people hit faster or something and they beat on each other a little bit harder, but I'm not sure how relevant that is.
So this is going to mean that Liquid has this like lane, like they're going to do kind of all out in the lanes. They're going to have Bloodlust for the Ench. Ogre's really, really good in the laning phase to secure the other side of the map. And you kind of can buy all the wards so IO can be that greedy position for if needed. Of the Lich again.
Yeah.
The Frost Armor. Chain Frost. Chain Frost really good for the relocate.
Yeah, it's like kind of taking the lane in the other direction. This, if this Lich does play in the safe lane, like instead of picking this other hero to nuke the wave out, now this Ursa is going to have.
What do you think is the idea behind the Lich here? Is it just a preference, or they want because they look at this Ogre, they know that Ogre is going to be paired up with like maybe a physical hero, like a very heavy, usually bloodlust like carry. So you want the Frost Armor to deal with the physical damage.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a part of it. I mean, this Frost Armor spell is like actually absurd. People are going like 2-4-2, stuff like this, maxing the Ice Armor first because it actually just mitigates so much damage. It's so hard to play against. The Alchemist is banned, because this Lich Alchemist combo is also like really, really good. It's something that people have been picking a lot. And I think it just enables a lot of these core heroes in general, and it makes it very difficult, like you said, to pick cores into this Ice Armor because they just do so much less damage.
Don't you think it's safe to assume that Enchantress and Ogre Magi is going off lane and Lich Ursa is kind of going into their off lane to dodge that lane?
Potentially. All right.
Oh, well, the Storm getting picked up before the last pick here for Sumail on EG. Of course, Liquid earlier picked up the Venomancer.
Yeah, this is the hero I mentioned yesterday when EG picked the Veno against the Ursa, and I was kind of suggesting that when you see the Veno, do you have like more thought process into maybe we should switch the Ursa into a support to make sure that the Veno doesn't counter a core Ursa badly, or are you fine with that actually in the game?
I think EG is fine with it. I think how they think of this hero is Ursa is this hero that doesn't really lose lane to anyone because he can always push the wave and he has a ton of armor, a ton of regen. And in the mid game, you play around like jumping this Veno, and now the Ursa doesn't need to be the primary one to jump either. Liquid's heroes are pretty easy to jump into for a Storm, so he can start the fight if he has a good lane or a decent game, and then Ursa can kind of come in later into the fight and explode some Ench or explode a Venomancer, if he snuck around the wards and coming from the back or something like that.
So you just rather finish it out with maybe the Earth Spirit, something that stuns, because there's very little stuns with EG right now.
Yeah, someone that can help lane with the Weaver, I think, because these kind of squishier ranged heroes, the Pot Weaver, we've seen them have like trouble in this tournament playing against Ogre in the lane because like they just don't deal enough damage. He kind of just goes up and whacks them.
What does Liquid have to do against the Storm Spirit pick then in this case, right? They have one pick left.
I mean, generally we would say pick some stuns. That would be a good start.
I mean, that one even I could have said winner if we're going to keep it that generic.
Well, I wanted to mention the Invoker because we just have seen Invoker do so well against Storm Spirit in the last series, but obviously banned out by the Evil Genius.
There you go. Yeah, they're thinking ahead of that as well. Of course, Liquid last ban was Tusk. Not wanting to deal with that, being able to come in all at once. Well, Liquid does have the very last pick. They have the 10th pick.
I mean, the other option would be Shaker right now for them, apart from the Earth Spirit. I think Shaker will be also pretty okay to solve some of their problems.
I could see Liquid not getting any disables, and we're going to play off timing. We're going to play off lanes, and we're going to walk down
you are
the middle
that
of your base.
Husker picker.
That's me.
But that's why I like the idea of Evil Genius is having the Lich. So potentially, if they try to cheese it with Husker last pick, they can just send Lich to help in mid, right?
Yeah, it definitely helps, for sure.
Just to mitigate that a little. For Liquid, they've spent a lot of their time earlier on in the draft trying to navigate around this first game against EG.
Let's go all in.
Baroki on the screen.
Liquid kind of like lacks some wave clearance, some real carry and stuff, but I think it's kind of hard to get all of that in this last pick.
Yeah, you just don't care anymore. You just go all out for the you're at this point where you just go all out in the laning phase.
I mean, you're committed at this point, it seems. There's not much of an answer around it. Oh!
Whoa.
That's new.
Okay.
CK mid? Maybe? That'd be high.
CK coming out as the last pick from Liquid. And there we have it. There's the draft. We're about to get into the first game of the series. And to break it down a little further, we have Nahaz.
Thank you, Chobra. This matchup features arguably the two most storied franchises in Western Dota 2 history. Over 150 combined wins at the International. These two teams behind only LGD, who waits in the wings in the lower bracket final tomorrow. Of course, great teams made up of great players. Miracle and Sumail, the only two players at TI8 averaging better than a kill per 4 minutes. Of 150 players with 25 or more career games at the International, they are the only two to average 9 or more kills a game. And of course, the supports, GH and Crit, both leading in assist rate, better than 1 assist per 2 minutes of the tournament. Liquid has tapped the GH IO 28-11 all-time on LAN. EG coming back with the Sumail Storm 31-13, eliminated Virtus Pro in their match the other night. Guys, we have one hell of a series on hand, the two premier Western Dota 2 franchises, and we've got two great casters to bring it to you. Put your hands together for Dota Capitalist and Blitz.
It was 1 year ago that Liquid dropped down to the lower bracket and made a historic run through and established themselves as the kings of Dota. They look to do it this year a second time, but here, Evil Geniuses stands in their way. One man in particular, in his hometown, looks to be able to knock Liquid down a peg and stop their rampage through this lower bracket, and that is Arteezy.
Yeah, he is the prodigal son of Vancouver. He lives 20 minutes away from here. He's in the top 4. Trying to play his way to a grand finals.
And his story's pretty much always been like, hey, he seems like a pretty good player, but he's never really made it to the top. Well, in order to get there, you have to take on some of the best, and there's no doubt that Liquid is one of the best. As we head into this game number 1, Liquid picking up a last pick Chaos Knight. That certainly came as a huge surprise to me. What is that? Evil Geniuses. They're apparently channeling their Bulba. 4 of them have their coach as their profile picture.
Yeah, they absolutely love Bulba. I mean, this guy, he quit his playing career this year when Arteezy needed help. He said, I'm going to come help you. I want to see us win TI together. What a story that would be if they actually make it towards the end.
But on the other side, Liquid. They have been a really scary force, and the last time these two faced up against each other, it was a pretty one-sided affair to Liquid, as they managed to just 2-0 Evil Geniuses. What do you think about the last big Chaos Knight, though? That was certainly a hero, a little bit out of the mana, bit of a surprise.
I think it's really good against the Storm Spirit. It's really good against Weaver, at least in the early game before he gets his Lincoln Sphere. It's high armor, high damage. You have a very good stun.
Illusion heroes always kind of beneficial against the Ursa as well, right? That single target focus.
Yeah, absolutely.
It seems like a very fast-paced lineup. So, between the Enchantress and Venomancer cores as well, at least from my point of view, it looks like they're going to have to take this game fast and really never give up control.
Yes, because what EG does best is they slightly outgreed you, they snowball in lanes, and then it becomes very hard to fight them in the mid game. But Sumail Storm Spirit, I've seen this guy carry many a game. He's going to be up against the Matumba Man Venomancer, the hero that Matu almost won, well, did win TI with.
Yeah, he has.
Him and his Veno Necro Broodmother face.
Yes, where he just had all the most disgusting heroes. S4 is going to be playing the Weaver, and they are going to try and stop him from getting to that tier 1 tower. Of course, trying to stop a Shukuchi Weaver. That's not really going to work. Looks like they're going to go and start off with a bit of an aggro tri-lane. I'm sure Kuro's going to wander into that mid lane and try and make Sumail's life hell, as a Venomancer plus an Ogre sounds really difficult to deal with. That will leave a solo mind control here. The top lane is the Enchantress, the Dark Willow, and Arteezy's Ursa looking to zone mind control out as fast as possible.
Yeah, I think it's actually a lot harder to play this Ogre in this mid lane. You can only really do it, I think, if you're on Dire side, because you can get behind the tower like this, get a few hits off. But the amount of mobility that you have, it just cuts off so quickly. As you see, he already is entering the range as Sumail. Gonna hit back a little bit, and the wave just pushes right back towards you anyways.
Yeah. You've mentioned that a couple times, how this mid lane is so much harder to play for supports, and that has led us to mostly a 1 versus 1 mid meta.
Yeah, that's why we see Sumail back here. If you see that Kuro, he doesn't really feel comfortable. Like when he's in this range, he's just gonna get hit by the tower.
Right.
So Ogre is a lane harasser in mid, just isn't as successful as he used to be.
But he doesn't really have anywhere else to go, right? I don't think he really wants to be in the top lane up against the Willow Ursa. And anything to be able to slow down the Storm Spirit, who I'm presuming is going to be kind of the game winner for Evil Geniuses if they can take this.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's not even slowing him down. Matu's only at 5 CS.
Yeah, what is this? How is Sumail sitting 11? Now he's going to be pulled back. S4 doesn't really have a way to be able to escape this. A lot of damage coming in.
1 second for the Shukuchi.
Trees, and GH managed to snag the last hit, giving him the first blood. Top lane, mind control, chase down underneath that tower, but unlike S4, he will be able to get away.
This bottom lane being harassed heavy. Sply just needs some levels before he can really do anything to challenge this lane as mid lane. Sumail gonna get galed up. But Kuro gonna make the long rotation in as top.
Curse Crown allowing Arteezy to be able to get some hits in. Trying to dive him underneath the tower. He actually went to the south mid lane. Sumail turns around, almost kills Matumba Man. Now Kuro looks to be able to finish him off. Matumba Man couldn't get the kill because of the Fairy Fire, so he leaves it to his captain.
So far so good for Team Liquid, as this mid lane needs to go very well. Veno, when it comes to the mid game, doesn't really handle Storm the best.
Tried to get the last hit there with the Shukuchi. Missed out on it, denied range creep. Really going to hurt S4, as you can already see how GH and Miracle are a bit ahead in experience. It's Chaos Knight, as you said, proving to be a pretty potent power against this Weaver.
I think
they have the Sentry lane, but now S4 coming in combined will be able to get the carapace onto GH. Flight tries to slow him down. S4 should be able to catch up to him once the next Shukuchi is up. Will be able to get the kill. 1-for-1 trade up, but GH was worth a lot more than Fly. Meanwhile, top lane, do manage to get a good Brambles out from Crit. That'll slow down mind control, and Arteezy should be able to chase him down. Kuro's trying to come in to help him out. They actually went the wrong direction, and with the Wisp coming in, he actually broke down so many trees that mind control has a clear way out of here. In fact, it's going to be Crit who may be left behind. He's trying to draw the attention of Liquid. Now dances the other way. Hit by the ball, will be slowed down. Does have the Shadow Realm TP out. So manages to draw attention to himself. Still escapes.
That rotation is really going to hurt Miracle, as he doesn't really want to be here 1v1 against S4. And what you really want as a Weaver is to not be aggro, because you need levels. Level 1 Shukuchi is absolutely garbage. It's got a 12-second cooldown. But once you start to hit level 5, once you start to get that level advantage on Weaver, then you get to 1v1 offlaners. As you see Miracle throw out the stun, but by himself not really representing a threat, as Fly is going to take good advantage of this. They're going to pump out some levels, try to get S4 that experience advantage.
S4 does have the Shukuchi, won't go for the dive though. Picked up an early raindrop to try and protect himself against that burst. Mind control. Hit by the Curse Crown. Arteezy's pretty far away. In fact, he will give up on that chase. They're just going to try and establish control of the 5-minute bounty runes as they come up. Meanwhile, bottom, lane. Fly's trying to do the same. They do manage to get the swarm and finish off the Chaos Knight pretty quickly. S4 will chase the Wisp away, looking to be able to grab those bounty runes, so it looks like EG will be able to get 3 out of 4. It's only Curl behind enemy lines will be able to pick up the other one.
He's got to be careful here. He could get sandwiched, but he's going to go the way of crit. He does not want to go there, as Sumail has hit level 6. Gale ticking him down, but should be just fine. He's got a salve on him too, and the full bottle once Fly passes it back to him.
I like how he went back for another Fairy Fire. Really looking for the outplay, but it's going to be caught with a double stun. It's only a 1 second stun, though. He is able to jump away, pull back in by Miracle, and he will barely live. Miracle hoping to be able to chase him down. He's so close. Sumail heals up a bit more, though, and Miracle is now underneath the tower. Fortunately, there's no TPs from Evil Geniuses, so they'll leave Fly to die. But the big bounty was on Sumail's Storm Spirit, and Liquid barely missed out.
That was a 4-man rotation at 5 minutes. And this is what Liquid does. They try to pressure the lanes as much as possible. They want to remain fluid. And look at this, Miracle coming in with GH towards this top lane. Gonna pop the Shrine, and immediately they're just hunting now.
Mind Control is gonna try and bait it out, but he can't die too soon. Gets the heal out, the Brambles manage to dodge all of those. The sun comes out, but now GH is here, and Arteezy's gonna be caught, pulled in by Miracle. Gets the stun out. They just look to be able to slow him down, and all he has is Earth Shock to be able to slow down Miracle in return, but he's eventually gonna catch up. Miracle does have another stun coming up. It's gonna be a 2-second stun. One more hit, that's gonna be enough to finish him off. Crit's gonna be up next. Curse round does stun the 2 of the cores, though, and Crit will be able to get out as a result.
And you see Miracle doesn't really want to lane bottom lane, so he's just gonna go around, force the rotations, as Mind Control now gonna switch lanes.
He was trying to sneak in a kill on GH, though.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So instead, he's gonna go for Miracle again, leaving Miracle alone here. The Curse Crown stun, follow up with the Brambles. Easy latch down, turn around for the 1 second stop, but Arteezy is not deterred. He kill in mid lane. Whoa, a long jump in. We're gonna have Sumail Stormshare trying to kill Matumba Man here. Even next to Kuro, he managed to dodge the ignite, can't dodge the stun though. And Sumail has one last little bit of jump. The raindrops actually saved Matumba Man, and Sumail, he will pay for his overzealous reactions. He tries to jump and take the 1v1, but Kuro denies him that. Matumba Man lives once again.
I feel like Sumail, that was a frustration jump. It's very easy for anybody to make the rotation and save Matumba Man there. Matumba Man still has raindrops, and he's got a wand to play with. Sumail, I think he's a little bit frustrated at the pressure that he's seen in this game so far.
Feels like Liquid are definitely getting a lot more kills out of this map, but the CS score in the favor of Evil Geniuses, that's why they need big-time kills like Arteezy, and they will be able to bring it down. Sumail's going to jump in, see if he can actually get the GH's Wisp first. They have the Curse Crown on him, so GH gets the long tether away. He's going to try and get out, but he can't quite make. Kuro, he's going to be up next, slowed down by Fly. Miracle's thinking about coming back into this one. Kuro going to go for the TP out. It's going to be a close call, barely escapes. Reading that they had no more stuns left. And that's just space for Matumba Man now. T begins that ward pressure on the mid tower.
He's got 3 levels of it so far. Just hit level 8. Sumail doesn't really have the best mana pool to work with. There is a regen rune at bottom, but he won't know about that as at top.
They keep on trying to pressure Miracle, but 2 supports in lane. That just is free food for the Chaos Knight. S4 trying to get some damage onto Mind Control where he can. Apparently Ursa not feeling like he could do much. We look back at the way Sumail is just so close to getting Matumba Man. It was the raindrop that really made the difference.
Yeah, you see the frustration right there on his face. Thought that he should have had that kill, but Sumail, it's never just a straight one-on-one as Miracle getting gone at top.
First Crown leading off, does have the Brambles as well as the Shadow Realm for that extra burst of magic damage. Miracle's already taken so much, GH is going to try and come in and save him. Swarm goes out, Miracle's already taken so much, but they turn around, their 2-mid-second stun. They almost finish off S4, and they do. Miracle survives, claims the head of S4, and Evil Geniuses, they seem to have nothing. They can't even get a grip on this game whatsoever. They're just constantly being outmaneuvered by Liquid in this GH Wisp.
Yeah, Liquid has been everywhere. They've been lane swapping as EG is kind of holding steady so far, not really rotating too much. That might be Sumail's job this game. Might want to play a little bit more active than he normally does. You can't just farm the jungle, especially not against this Veno mid, who's just going to push down your towers with these Plague Wards, surely but slowly. And that's why they're going to leave Fly here in this mid lane, and Sumail going to get active, TPing to this camp. Maybe he waits for his Weaver to come too, but now he's just going to swap position with Fly, who does have a smoke on him.
And Fly does have his level 6.
I feel like they should just go top right now.
We may finally see the impact of the Lich in these team fights. And stun. Thrown on a crit. He does have a Shadow Realm. The X-Nail's here. A lot of damage, but now Sumail's going to jump in. The Terrorize immediately put onto the campsite. The Chain Frost is good. Phantasm, the Chain Frost slows both of them down. Matumba Man will be able to get away, though. Again, a lack of stuns, but GH in the back lines. S4, he hunts the real kill. GH's Wisp has been so powerful in this game, constantly winning lanes with his rotations, but S4 will be able to bring an end to his life here.
I really like that play by EG. The bounty rune's about to spawn. You know that top pressure is coming. Liquid, they believe themselves to be strong there. They think it's going to be a straight up 3-on-3 fight, but this time around EG, willing to rotate more numbers. And that's what I want out of Sumail this game. Rather than going for the more farmy Storm Spirit, you have to help out your other lanes because they are struggling.
And that kind of uses the fact that both Venomancer and Enchantress are relatively static heroes, right? They like to just be able to win their lane and keep winning their lane over and over and over again, rather than rotating around.
Yeah, I mean, Matumba Man wants to take down this mid tower before he moves anywhere. Mind Control is in a similar boat where he wants to push down this bottom tower with this double siege wagon. And so it's up to EG to make a lot of space during this time. As Sumail, he's faking it right now. He wants to go on to Matumba Man. He does have the level of pull. Here he goes. He's got wand charges to work with too.
Coming in, trying to save Matumba Man, but it might not be enough. Managed to get a magic wand, and now Sumail's gonna be 2 seconds done. He's dead. Matumba Man just keeps on baiting Sumail in time and time again. S4 tries to do something at the top lane, just forces Kuro to TP back. Now we'll have to retreat as the relocate pulls Miracle back into lane.
And as a Storm player, that frustration has to build, because that looks like a free kill for yourself. But once again, just getting interrupted at the last moment.
And this is always Matumba Man's specialty, right? This is why he played those Necrophoses and Venomancers, because he annoys his opponents into going on him. They try and go for the kill, and he relies on his teammates to be able to save the day.
Yeah, you better believe that Sumail is getting frustrated.
Finally, Mind Control will be able to finish off that tower. Left alone. Has a good amount of farm. Actually, no, he's pretty far down there.
See, this is the scary part now, though. They've claimed this bottom tier 1 tower. They're going to eventually play for this mid tier 1 tower. And once you take both of those, the game becomes really difficult for EG to play. Because you've got 3 heroes that want to farm, but you're only going to have this space to work with.
And that's also why Kuro is coming in with such aggressive vision. After you take that tier 1 tower, you get some nice vision down. It really helps control that Radiant jungle area.
GH and Miracle just farming up this camp together.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
S4 is still leading the network chart, though, at 5K. So overall, the game is slightly in the favor of Liquid. S4 is going to try and do the same thing here, try and take that tier 1 tower. Liquid, they understand the strategy. They are not really going to try and defend that. Bigger focus on the mid lane, right? They're almost ready to go with the relocate as well. So Fly will try and pull the creeps off the tower constantly.
You see how they're all just stacked up in this area farming the same jungle camp? That's the downside of you losing your bottom tower early on.
Right.
So EG have to do the same thing, establish control in that top lane, and now it's going to be a battle for this mid lane. This is what Liquid love to do. If you take both these towers early on, you can exert a lot of pressure. And that's what we saw LGD do. They beat them back every single time.
S4 kind of toying with GH and Miracle, feeling like alone can handle the two.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What are we waiting for farm-wise for either team?
And for EG, you want the Blink Dagger on Arteezy so he can jump.
Don't really have a better form of initiation. Seeing as Sumail hasn't had a great grain. No, crit! Shadow Realm, but they do have the spirits out from GH, and he will just run down that Dark Willow. They're going to come back in, though. GH better not bring in Miracle, because this is going to be a slaughter. Sure enough, GH tries to tether away just to be able to buy a little bit more space, a little bit more time before the inevitable. He does manage to wand up that last hit, but S4 runs him down with the Shikuchi.
They might lose the bottom tier 2 tower for this. This is a good feint as Sumail continues to have to stay in this mid lane, deal with the Venom wards and the pressure. He doesn't want to lose this tower. Not for free anyways. And Kuro gonna make the rotation around. They won't have enough damage, but if they can even force him off this tower and take it, that's exactly what they're trying to do.
A bunch of poison on him. He's gonna make some long jump away. Kuro tries to position himself to catch Sumail there.
They're gonna lose the tower for this, and this is exactly what Matumba Man wanted to do. The kill attempt is secondary for grabbing this tower.
Fly tries to come in and save it with some frost armor, but he can't really put his hero in the position there. He may just die immediately.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Tower survives a bit longer. It's in deny range now. The rest of Evil Geniuses are coming in, but so is Liquid. Tower is forfeit. Kuro picks up the bounty. And Arteezy still not ready to go. Still needs another 250 gold until he has that Blink Dagger.
It's going to get a lot closer with these bounty runes, but now, strategically, I'd say Liquid is slightly ahead because they have taken these towers. When it comes to pure farm, EG's lineup is almost always just a little bit greedier. And that's why you see things are still pretty close.
So you would judge kind of like the pace of the game going exactly as it should, that Liquid, because they're the better pressure team early, just
they might lose Matamba Man here though.
Matamba Man, he doesn't have the Poison Nova and doesn't really have anything to stop EG from going on him, but GH does manage to slow down some of the damage. Unfortunately, he's going to be caught as well. A stun out onto the Weaver, mind control, lays some damage onto him with the impetus shots, but time lapses away.
Just a weird position for Matamba Man to get caught up in as Crit, even going to run into Miracle here. He's pinging like crazy. He wants his team to come in. He knows that he's separated from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, the Shrine right there, 2-second stun. Miracle is going to try and turn, but the Shadow Realm, now the Cursed Crown. Miracle is going to be caught by this Dark Will, tries to throw on, manages to turn, blows up the Dark Will. What a beautiful play for Miracle, getting rid of the Cursed Crown at the last second, and might be able to pick up the extra kill as well. A big bait by Miracle, and it's Liquid who come in just in time. Now the relocate into mid lane. Oh, canceled there by GH. Decides against going for the kill on Fly.
Miracle continues to just farm in this jungle side, placing a lot of pressure down here. If Matamba Man doesn't die there, they are so far ahead, but Arteezy's going to get his Blink Dagger now. Not the easiest place to fight into, though, against this Venomancer.
GH being just a nice lad, as he always is. Brought in the Hurricane Pike. Or the Dragonlance, rather, for the mind control Enchantress.
You see the circles being drawn.
Look back at that bait. Look at Miracle popping it at the last second. That Phantasm getting rid of the Cursed Crown, dodges that stun. Turns around and kills the Weaver as well. Such a sick bait. Crit. That delayed stun placed onto Kuro. Liquid are trying to bait him out right now. Evil Genius not going to fall for it, and maybe they will. The Shadow Realm goes off. He's going to have to terrorize his way out of here. Miracle is going to be hit by that one. The Bedlam goes down. They're actually going to try and kill the Chaos Knight with Sumail coming in. It's going to be a close call. Miracle's not going to be able to get away. A huge Poison Nova goes down. Kuro's going to be hit by the Chain Frost. Bounces back over to Sumail. Sumail still with the Poison Nova on it. Will be able to finish up the Wisp, but the Chain Frost is still going. The Chain Frost bouncing around to the neutrals. Time lapse going down. S4 has taken so much damage over time that he can't commit to the kill onto Matamba Man. A 3-for-3 exchange as it starts with them killing the Chaos Knight. But that Poison Nova, the damage over time just did its work against Evil Geniuses, and they couldn't outright win the engagement.
Core, both supports dying on either side. That is going to benefit Liquid a little bit more here. S4 made the rotation in. Now this bottom lane is going to get pushed out by the CK Wisp combination, who do have relocate in 5 short seconds. So maybe Liquid just go for another play.
A little bit surprised that S4 isn't going for the Lincolns. Oh, a perfect 50-50 match we got on our hands here, William.
We haven't seen a lot of those.
Yeah, Dota Plus.
I never doubt Dota Plus anymore, by the way. After this tournament, whoever it says is winning, I pretty much just blindly trust that analysis.
All right, well now it's Liquid. Just look the difference. S4 coming forward, looking to be able to get warm on Matamba Man, maybe if he's out of position. Here's the kill squad right here. Arteezy with his Blink Dagger. Everyone from Liquid has to play a little careful around that guy.
I think EG don't really want to take a fight, straight up.
Yeah.
I think it's really awkward for them when Arteezy doesn't have BKB, and Sumail just needs more items. I haven't seen this guy this underfarmed in quite some time. He's behind every other core in this game. And it's because he's had to make so many rotations. They need his jump to start the fight before Arteezy had Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
And without his mid tower, he can't really just comfortably farm his jungle either anymore.
And now Arteezy's at a point because of the Venomancer and everything, he feels like he still doesn't want to start fights until he has that magic immunity.
This is just an awkward Ursa game for him because he just needs item after item. That's why he expected, I think, the laning phase to go a lot better for himself. But with the rotations that Liquid made, that made things a little bit more difficult for them as both teams playing around this topside area. Sumail still mid.
Radiant are scanning.
GH trying to get to his buddy right now so that they could relocate if needed.
Visibility rune. Pinged out by Crit. They're going to give it to Sumail, so maybe he can set up a kill here in this jungle area. Team Liquid still kind of farming that. But you're right, they really don't want to take a fight. Orchid's coming up for Sumail. Again, the BKB for RTZ. They'll want to wait off those items. Do you think Liquid is okay with the game slowing down as well?
I think so, because they have good control factors, and their cores also scale. They're eventually going to have to worry about how this Weaver's going to play. They only really have 2 stuns. And getting the Ogre stun off the game, I mean, the cast range on it is so bad.
Maelstrom build for S4. Gonna help a little bit against the illusions, that big burst damage against the IO as well. Fly's gonna be forced to TP out.
And this is gonna signal a retreat from EG's end as RTZ barely doesn't get hit by the Wisp Spirits.
He had probably would have chased him down. So Liquid regain control of their own jungle, push out the top lane, but what are they gonna do with that? What's the point of that kind of play?
I think they want to establish control around this Roshan area.
Yeah.
Maybe even take the tier 1 tower at top.
The enemy team has a Ursa. You want to prevent him from securing that Aegis early.
If you first, they've got the Alpha Wolf too.
Yeah.
But I don't think it goes nearly fast enough. The EG's going to make their way up. They're smoked. Both teams smoked up here.
Smoke's going to pop onto Crit. Shadow Realm. He saw that pullback coming. Reality Rift not going to be there, but now Crit no longer has that defensive measure. There is Frost Armor on everyone.
He's got it maxed. He's going to have it back up right now. As for thinking about poking and checking the HP of it, RTZ taking advantage of this time. I don't think they really want to commit to a full fight here, but if they can keep them away from Roshan, this would be a win for them.
We've seen from our earlier series how important it is to be able to take down the Dark Willow first in these engagements because of that team fight control that Terrorize offers.
They just don't have the jump for it, though.
Yeah.
I think that's where EG will feel very comfortable in the game, is they have different ways to jump. They've got a very mobile hero in this Weaver. So even though their lineup, it feels a little bit greedier when it came to the lanes, when it comes to actually dealing out their damage, it's much easier for EG. And that's why Liquid, they need some of these objectives. They need to boost their gold.
Relocate to bottom lane. They're just going to push out the lane. That's all they're looking for. They still want to maintain control over that Roshan pit while simultaneously getting some pressure out on the opposite side of the map.
You see that S4 is just going really deep here. What he's trying to do is force heroes away so that RTZ can get his BKB before they take the fight. Right. Like, there's no reason for him to take this fight when he's 300 gold away from BKB. That's why S4, he played this brilliantly. He just holds that Roshan area. He sends out bugs. He tries to get them to commit to him instead.
It does seem like Liquid are a bit frustrated because they're probably reading the same thing, right? They're saying, once this BKB is up on RTZ, the fight's going to be so much harder. Let's take this Roshan now, but the damage just hasn't been good enough. Now it looks like with the Phantasm Path, the long jump in from Sumail, whoa! Jumps in there, pokes his head out, but it's going to be Liquid taking that Aegis Miracle. We'll get it. So all the frustration aside, finally, the goal is achieved for Liquid.
Top, RTZ does get the blink off before the hits. That just comes down to S4. He went completely the other way. He went the long way around. If he holds that area roughly, just throws in bugs, I feel like it's harder for Liquid to just take that Roshan for free.
Yeah. They needed the vision inside of the pit, right? That's why Sumail just kind of makes that bold maneuver like that.
And RTZ, he's spotted by this ward. It's not about making the jump on a Matuma Man who doesn't have that Force Staff, but does have the Heaven's Halberd.
Evil Genius is getting so much more out of the side lanes here. As you can see, S4 farming up that Ancient stack. Crit pushed in the bottom lane, got the tier 1 tower. That's kind of the trade-off for them giving up the Aegis.
I'd imagine pace-wise, yes, it's going to be hard for your Ursa to get out his damage, but the more farm this Storm gets, the more farm this Weaver gets, it's going to be a really easy game for them to play.
But now we've got a different form of initiation coming in. Matamba Man is going to go for the Blink Dagger, probably pick it up from the side shop here.
Yeah, I'd kind of like him to go Blink BKB Hex, some sort of build like that.
You want that, like, hard lockdown, right?
Yes. Just being able to jump Sumail instantly. You have to force Sumail to go for some kind of defensive item. I think he realizes because everything is so slow, he can get away with going for the Kaya into the Orchid back into the Bloodstone.
Now for Crit. That is a big upgrade for the Dark Willow.
And we haven't seen a kill on some time as EG it's hard to gank any of their heroes.
Yeah.
It's been 5 minutes since we've seen.
Pushing 10 here.
Liquid's
Liquid's holding that slight net. You can see they're beginning to form up. They want to be able to take some effectives. They're looking to take that off-lane tower maybe. Right now it's just the bounty runes. I mean, you were okay with Liquid slowing down the pace earlier. Are you still fine with that?
I think once you take the Roshan, once you get the BKBs, then you should just start taking fights nonstop.
Okay. And they're just going to be super aggressive at that point in time. Just headlong into fights, feeling that they're much stronger.
Matu is going for the Hex, by the way.
Okay.
Straight in. I sort of think he needs BKB, but I think he's realizing the problem that his team has. Like, look at S4. He plays with zero fear.
Turns around, Halberd, but you're absolutely right. Shikuchi's onto the creeps just to get some more damage out there. Always knows he's got a time-lapse away.
It's going to be so hard for them to lock down both the Storm and this Weaver. And if either of them get linkage, you can forget about it. Which is why I think the Halberd build also has a lot of flexibility and value here. Being able to blink Halberd Hex in case they do get linkage eventually.
Right. It's
a good item against the Ursa and the Storm.
Between kiting the Ursa and then being able to Halberd him, feels like they could really use their RT damage in these team fights. We still need that initiation. The Aegis gonna be wearing out soon here. But again, side lane pushes, they just haven't been able to deal with them. It's always a Weaver, it's always an Ursa. This time, Artis is actually gonna go for a kill. Managed to take down Kuro. Now Fly's gonna die to both the Chaos Knight as well as the Wisp. They relocated in that one.
Both heroes with no escape abilities just get caught. And this is going to be the dance that both teams play. I feel like EG is just going to continue to dare Liquid to try to take fights, chase them around the map. If this Weaver continues to play this bottom side, then Matoma Man won't feel comfortable leaving.
BKB for S4. He thought about it earlier, went for the Maelstrom, knowing that, again, felt like he kind of had a free game, no real threats on the board for him. He'll get a delayed BKB. RT's going to be picked up. Couldn't blink out of that one. Finally, they get a good initiation in on one of these cores that is just pushing into side lanes non-stop. Finally, Liquid might be able to do something with that. Samil is trying to push in the mid lane. They're going to go for the kill onto the Enchantress. Mind Control TP'd in for this one. Does have the Force Staff, trying to get away from the Dark Willow. Scared of the Bedlam, as he should be, while his allies are going to go for that tier 1 at top. Matoma Man is going to make sure they have enough team fight that Evil Geniuses will not challenge.
Yeah, and S4 just going to trade towers here. Going to grab this tier 2. Does get multicasted up, but gets it in the end as Liquid. You take what you can get.
Kuro, he thought he could put himself in front. He thought he was the big tanky support, but maybe he's right. Actually turn around, multicast runs into the Shikuchi. And S4 calls it a day. Now mid lane, Mind Control takes a lot of damage with the Orchid on him, but Samil, he's now low on mana, will be able to get up the hill a little bit, but now he's completely out. He's relying on his bottle. Bottle coming up in 2 seconds. So Mind Control will be able to get the slow on him now. Crit's going to come in for the Terrorize. Does manage to get up, and the Infinite Shot comes in first. Now it's going to be Mind Control maybe dying. Arteezy comes in with a BKB. They take apart the Enchantress. GH is going to fall as well. With the Yule Scepter and the Curse Crown combination placed on Matoma Man, he's not going anywhere either. So it may have cost Samil his life, but it was a good trade-off for Evil Geniuses in the end.
And it costs so much for them to just go in for that Storm. Arteezy over the top with Crit's help, and they're going to grab this tier 1 tower mid, and this is where EG's lineup is going to start to get really good, as you have to overcommit if you're on the side of Liquid to get any of these kills. And with the tier 2 tower down at bottom taken, if S4 hides in that area the entire time, he can just continue to pressure that, and all the Roshans of this game will be in EG's favor as Kuro claps it off.
I'm not sure if that was probably the moment that Arteezy blew a BKB to kill him. I'm guessing Kuro was probably okay with that trade-off. This last trade-off, though, probably not so happy. Evil Geniuses being able to take that mid tower. Still, though EG is not up, that net worth is still less than 1K, and Liquid still plenty of team fight power. They're closing in on the Chaos Knight, getting his level 3 Phantasm. That is a really big upgrade as well. If he can finish off the Heart, I feel like that's one of the peaks for Chaos Knight.
Yeah, there's 2 ways to deal with lineups that split push you. Either A, you get these hexes, these blink hexes to be able to instant jump. Because once you get the blink hex, you can get the relocate on top of another hero, grab the kill, and the other way is become so tanky that it doesn't matter. And that's what Liquid are trying to do to deal with this sort of split style from EG. But EG, I feel like if you take the tier 2 tower atop, it's going to be really hard for Liquid to defend these Roshans.
Yeah.
And Matama Man might just get caught here. He does have a Blink Dagger, and that's why they're not immediately taking the jump on him, waiting for the rest of the heroes to come around as Sumail to make this not so obvious.
But at the same time, Liquid are going for a smoke with their Wisp Chaos Knight. The smoke's going to pop. Sumail immediately jumps out, picks up the Illusion Rune. BKB now for Mind Control. S4 is going to continue the pressure onto this top lane, seeing that the tier 2 is so low. He knows Liquid is going to be forced into some sort of reaction. Tubba-Man and Mind Control together are going to try and put a stop to this push.
Gets outside that range, the tower falling really low, and Mind Control just going to deny it straight up, as everybody from Liquid rotated here for this. And this is just going to force EG to do more of the same, split the map, continue to frustrate Liquid.
Look at Arteezy, just immediately running to the bottom half of the map. S4 always positions himself kind of where the most dangerous lane to push in is.
He should. He's got Shukuchi to work with, he's got a BKB. It's so hard for him to die. He's going to go for the Linken's next. He understands that survivability is the name of this game. If they can outlast Liquid in these team fights.
And that's why Liquid desperately need that side device from Matumba Man. He is going to pick up the first item. He does have 2,700 gold, so he can get the Mystic Staff if he wants. So he's getting there.
Yeah, I'd like to see crit. Oh,
maybe he's going to be picked off here by Miracle. Slowed down. Think about the Chain Frost. Finally does let it go, but it doesn't go anywhere. Well,
Liquid. Roshan's up.
Is Crit just chilling out, waiting for, see if there's like some sort of support that walks into the jungle or something?
I thought he was going to cut the wave.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But instead, he's just going to chill around this area as Liquid immediately go into this Roshan pit. If you can't force fights around the towers, the best thing that you can do as a team that's struggling to catch anybody is to go for the objectives like Roshan.
Yeah. And it seems like Evil Chief doesn't really care too much. I'm sure they know with the bottom lane actually hitting the tier 3 that Liquid is elsewhere, and they're probably doing Roshan. Sure enough, you're right. Crit does go for the cut on the creep wave.
This is all EG should do right now. Send heroes to cut waves, delay the timer, make it so that the Roshan isn't effective, then split up and get kills. Is Curl going to run into
this? It's going to be
this?
one of those opportunities for a kill. Trying to get a fast one under Curl. Now see if they can get out before Liquid can do anything about him. Actually got himself a little stuck here.
And with the 4-on-5, maybe they actually take this fight here. Here comes the jump.
From Sumail already managed to get the silence onto the Chaos Knight, preventing him from being able to do anything, but that is just going to be the first life. But already, it's going to be the Venomancer down as well. Arteezy goes for the TPL with the BKB. The physical damage, though. Got the stun from Kuro as well. Didn't get the opportunity to TP fast enough.
Still, 3 kills and the buyback. Not bad at all by EG.
Yeah, the Aegis down as well for Miracle. He does have that heart, though. Jump out. Oh, the Mind Control passes through him. Tries to get some more. BKB activated, though. Sumail low on mana once again. We've seen this story before, but S4 with BKB trying to go for the kill into Mind Control. But the heal, it just seems to be too much. Now with the extra alpha crit, they will be able to get the kill. S4 just needs to make sure he can get out. He's going to pop the time lapse. Oh, he actually got hit by the stun. Terrorize coming in, though. Nice dodge with the Phantasm. Miracle looks for the kill into S4, but can't quite do it. It's Fly with the force tap who saves him, and Crit comes in from the side. Executes Kuro. 4 dead now from Liquid.
And Liquid right now are being pulled apart. EG doing such a good job of not giving them the straight 5-on-5 fight that they want. They always take it a weird angle. They try to get the jump first, pick up a hero. Liquid, they're playing very reactively here, trying to take what they can get, but the opportunities, they don't last for very long.
Another force stab, trying to get Sumail out of the way here. Miracle almost had him. Instead, it's going to have to go for the support in Fly. But the Coolers, they're all by themselves. They're immediately going to go for the IO first, making sure that he doesn't get the opportunity to save the Chaos Knight's life. Now, Miracle is going to have to run his way back. He's got the BKB, so should not be pursued.
S4 pursuing upwards. There is a sentry and a ward here for them.
S4 not going to get caught just. Maybe Miracle can find something else. Arteezy. Thinks the Sun, the arrangement on first, though. Poison Nova's going to come in. Terrorize is out. Doesn't manage to get a veer on the two of them. They're going to got a missile. Outside. He won't be able to get out of this one. Controlled up. He will die. And now it's going to be the Sun onto Matumba Man. They're going to try and chase him down. Arteezy. They need to stop his Blink Dagger as soon as possible. But maybe S4 by himself is going to go for the kill. Matumba Man. Kuro slows him down a little bit more. Crit comes in. Curse Crown into the Yule Scepter. Almost an instant stun as he comes back down to earth. And he's just food for Evil Geniuses.
And even though it's only a 2K lead for EG, you can sense that the team fights, they're not going to get easier as the game goes on for Liquid, as they just go for mind control at bottom lane. Arteezy has the blink, runs into the Ogre stun. He's going to enrage this off.
Another enraged in S4. He's just able to constantly play so much in the enemy's face, and it's forcing certain things out of Liquid that they just don't want to be using here. A tier 2 now going to go down. Evil Geniuses have taken every outer tower on the map.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This bottom lane, the tower's getting taken pretty quickly as S4 time lapses backwards. We'll just get out. And here come the monster!
With Arteezy and Samal, they immediately go for the... Oh, quite get him. They do get the Force Staff away on the Enchantress. They've gotten the kill there. Maybe they could have killed the tier 3. Instead, they'll just have to control the map. It's a 4,000 gold lead right now for Evil Geniuses. Liquid, though. I mean, it seems like they still can win in a team fight. They just aren't getting any of those team fights.
In a straight 5-on-5 team fight, I think they can still win. But the problem is that EG never gives them the straight 5-on-5. They try to jump one hero with the Storm or the Ursa. Then Liquid tries to react a little bit too late to save a hero, but by that time, they've already lost a hero. They're approaching a 4-on-5 fight.
Matumba Man almost jumped again. Instant Yule's coming out. Crit's going to be slowed down.
Maybe they get Crit here. This would be a pretty big pickoff. He's got the Aeon hit
in. They actually spotted Fly, so they're going to go for that easier kill. Pull him back in with the Reality Rift. Now they do have a decent Frost Nova, but that doesn't do much.
And they lost mind control during that. This is what I'm talking about. They'll trade this every single day.
Now Liquid.
He might have just...
Terrorize going to come in. BKB activated by Miracle. He's going to stay on top of Arteezy. Actually missed out on the Gale, but still GH comes in, helps Miracle to be able to claim the life of the bear. S4, as always, will be able to escape. But with 2 dead, can Liquid finally start pushing down a lane? Can they take an objective? They pop the Phantasm for that, so they want to get more than just a kill on Arteezy.
But S4 going to be a nuisance to them and send them back. And this is what's always going to reset the fight for them as
jump in by Samal into mid lane. Just jump TP out.
Here I am.
The Illusions are going to push out this top lane. You can see that EG,
Let the fun begin.
they should be able to sense that they are ahead in this game.
Scythe though, finally, Liquid. They can get some hard initiation and might just be able to catch some of these heroes from Evil Geniuses that have been frustrating them so much with their split pushing. And once they do that, once they get 1 or 2 pickoffs, then maybe they can finally get the 5-on-5s that they really want. EG will be a bit slow. Of course, S4 was already prepared for it. He has the Lincolns, so he'll be one of the few who can continue fearlessly head into Liquid's side of the map.
And the good news for Liquid is that Miracle is still absurdly farmed. He's the highest net worth in this game.
Yeah.
By 2,000 gold. Got all the tank ability. He's got his own form of initiation with the Blink Dagger.
He's done a very good job of keeping up, especially since it feels like Liquid has less control of the map than EG.
Yeah, the question right now for EG is, can you just keep this game going? People can't really get picked off. Arteezy, I felt like, got a little bit too over-eager as top lane S4. Got to be careful here. They have a way to disable that Lincoln, and Matumba Man, he's looking for it.
He managed to get the Scythe of Ice on S4. This is going to be a big time to go for the Terrorize. No! Impetus shot from Mind Control is the last bit of damage needed. He's dead for 80 seconds with no buyback. Now Liquid. Now they can push out the side lanes. Now they can actually go and see if they can force a fight on Evil Genius' side of the map. It's going to start with a relocate. See if they can get another pickoff onto Fly. And as always, Fly is going to be, well, he actually does get out this time. Force F in the background, he's good. Looks like that Reality Rift just put Our Chaos Knight now.
Oh, great. He's going for it right now. Solo kill attempt.
Trying to get a fast kill onto the Venomancer, force him into the Nova with a jump in from Sumail. Together, that is some serious firepower.
He's just getting so farmed right now. 20 Bloodstone charges, Sumail.
Gold and sweet.
And he just keeps on going for those super long zips. Doing so much damage. Finds a haste rune. GH. Okay. GH won't be able to nab that one. And with the Orchid on him, won't be able to escape either. Liquid kind of forming on the high ground here, but it's not a fight they want to take.
And that's 2 heroes down.
Evil Geniuses. Man, the moment you thought with that Scythe of Ice, you know, the pickoff on S4 was like, all right, we've seen Liquid just slowly but surely losing more and more ground to Evil Geniuses, but then right back at you. It's going to be Crit and Sumail getting that pickoff onto the Venomancer.
Sumail just continues to deal with these waves. And Liquid, they have to be hating this game right now. It does not feel like their future's in their control.
Yeah.
They just have to wait for EG to make mistakes if they're going to get back into this game. Arteezy did overexert himself by going for that jump on a Kuro earlier. They need more moments like that. EG, if you play it safe, you wait for this next Roshan, you give the Aegis to Sumail, it's going to be so hard to bring him down twice. They're going to go for the smoke. They anticipate the fight first. Sumail, he's ready.
Mind control, maybe caught. They do have the Abyssal Blade onto Arteezy. Instant
long
back up.
over the
Big
top.
Controlled long jump in from Sumail looking for more. Kuro trying to get away with his Glimmer Cape. Dual Scepter placed onto Miracle. Will not pop the Phantasm. He's not too afraid, especially because Mind Control with the buyback is forcing Evil Geniuses away. EG's happy. They force something out of Liquid. Get out, losing nothing in return.
They did have to use the BKB, though, on the Ursa. This is going to make them a little bit more tentative as Roshan is up.
Oh, that's true. That could really help if Liquid having used that buyback. They want to be able to get something for it. I'll see that Roshan's up now.
He's going to run into Arteezy here. I don't know if they have the damage as he pops the Enrage.
Rage trying to jump away. Reality Rift, pull back, turns around, does manage to get the Abyssal Blade hit onto Miracle. Now in the mid lane, they're also going for Kuro, but Arteezy's the much bigger bounty. They will be able to get it again to terrorize. Not there in time. Crit tries to get some damage onto GH, but has to play careful against Mind Control. Arteezy down, S4 immediately trying to push out all the lanes. But Liquid can go for Roshan and see if Evil Geniuses are willing to blow a buyback on the Ursa to stop it from happening.
Yeah, that top lane is not in good enough position to force Liquid back, and they're going to take down this Roshan pretty quickly here. As Miracle, 5-6 slotted up. Just going to hit this with this Reality Rift. What's the response as Sumail jumps in, the buyback from the Ursa?
The device, they can turn on it, but he gets a force tap out of the pit. Miracle has now popped the Phantasm, won't be able to get anything for it. Sumail jumping back in, does manage to get the win, and blows him up pretty easily. Arteezy in the front line, already taking on, managed to finish off the Enchantress. Miracle's going to be up next, but they see GH. GH tethered in, and now he's going to be caught. Immediately, they try to go for it. The cheese goes down 5 seconds till Arteezy's going to go to S4. He's going for it. Arteezy said S4 can get the damage out. GH is away. S4 now going to have to let Sumail jump in immediately. Scythe of Ice once again. He keeps on trying to get in. The first second round of the terrorize. Crit saving Sumail. Now Liquid on the run. Miracle trying to get out, but Sumail bouncing around him. It's a 1 versus 3. Miracle needs to be able to grab somebody here. 4 seconds done on S40. He gets the crit. 1,000 damage. Crit turning, looking at Sumail. Not sure where he wants to go. Now Orchid it up. Can't do anything. GH couldn't save him either. Crit drops low. GH will get away up buyback now from Miracle. He wants to come back into this fight. He sees how low Evil Geniuses is. He'll find Crit first. Fortunately, Sumail had enough mana to be able to get away, but fly. Bit by bit, the Chaos Knight is coming. He wants to be able to find him. He's getting really out of position here, though. But now he's going to be slowed down. Chivas, Miracle. He's deep into Evil Genius' side of the map. But now Sumail, he actually gets the 3 seconds done. Miracle, but no. He jumps away, trying to get out. Miracle has one more Reality Rift. Finally just managed to spot him. Sumail jumps a little bit farther. 1 hit. That's all he needs. It's the bolt that claims him. Miracle dies, but he does manage to get the kill onto Sumail first.
And Crit in the back lines does pick up GH, who is desperately trying to make it to his buddy. And now it's EG. That fight so hectic. Both teams losing a significant amount of gold, but they come out ahead with heroes at the very least. The Enchantress about to respawn, same with the Venomancer.
Evil Geniuses will have a minute. They know that. There's no buyback on Miracle and GH. So they can wait until Sumail and Arteezy are back up, and it'll be a 3 versus 5 for a full minute.
As the jump in comes on Akuro.
Even worse, Crit trying to go for the Ogre. Again, Glimmer Cape and Force Staff always saving these heroes from. Now the jump in from Matamba Man. Managed to get the Poison Nova. Immediately gets the Gale as well onto Crit. He's taking so much damage, but now the Chain Bronze bouncing onto the creep. The Terrorize as well. They managed to control up Matamba Man with the Curse Crown as well. S4 looking to be able to get that kill. Crit eventually takes that one. Now the jump in from Sumail. He finishes off Matamba Man. Looks for more. S4, he's got to get out of here. He's halberted up. BKB, no time lapse away. He's dead as well. Liquid, they don't need the buybacks of the Chaos Knight and the Wisp. But they will have to give up on Aegis, Cheese, and a Refresher Shard.
That's going to be the big grab for them, as EG, they were just trying to buy time for that Roshan attempt to happen. That was why all the buybacks were expended in the first place. But Liquid, not going quiet into this night. They are still the defending champions. A lot of pride here for them.
Status resistance, level 25 for the Ursa. It's going to make a big difference. As I'm sure the Chaos Knight was hoping to get those stuns, man. That kill, that turnaround by Miracle, being able to kill Sumail, absolutely massive. I mean, he massively overextended himself, though, in the first place.
It's because GH was coming, but Crit saw the spirits. You can barely see him, his ult finishing up.
Crit's just constantly trying to hunt GH every single time, right?
You see Sumail, he'll take that trade every single day of the week.
Now Liquid are full 5-man up, but thanks to the Aegis and all the other bounties of the Roshan kill, can't really do anything while S4 and Crit are still dead. Instead, they're just gonna push out some of the lanes.
S4 bottom lane gonna get dealt with.
Yeah.
Here comes the win probability.
69% now. To the favor of Evil Geniuses. Liquid, though, in that last fight, I think they really proved that they can deal with the Storm Spirit. Thanks to the Scythe of Ice, I mean, 2 times they just answered Sumail. Unfortunately, they just didn't have the damage the first time he zipped in. As thanks to really good Glimmer Cape and Force Staff out by Fly, Sumail was able to escape. But Liquid at least showed they have the tools available. But can they deal with an Aegis Storm? That is a dramatic difference.
Liquid, they've got a DD rune on Miracle. This is a huge pickup this late into the game. As you see how he can burst heroes down.
Bloodthorn now for Sumail.
See EG, even with the Aegis, they're still tentative to take this fight. Like you said, it's not as clean as they'd like it to be.
They're going for it.
They might just go for it.
They have the double damage. They have the double damage from the Chaos Knight. That's why they want to do this. Even with the Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher Shard, and all the odds that should go in the favor of Evil Geniuses.
And look at this Invis rune, both sides eyeing it here. Miracle.
Miracle will take it. Evil Geniuses have spotted that. They're going to try and jump forward. Already got the Blood Orchid now. Immediately pops the Phantasm, tries to turn. Unable to get a stun on anybody while Arteezy jumps forward, tried to go for mind control, couldn't quite get it. Pulled away by the Refresher. Terrorize didn't really hit a whole lot, but he pops the Refresher. Does manage to get another round to the enraged with the BKB. Oh, good Nova going out, but the chain Arteezy's gone. Arteezy's already dead. Matamba Man's going to fall right after him. His Crit tries to finish him off. You'll Scepter finally does manage to get it. S4 and Sumail. Sumail's running low on mana, but does still have that Aegis, so he's going to come back soon. But they need to get out. Curse Crown actually stunning the 2 of them together while Sumail comes back up. He jumps away. It seems like the double damage was enough for Miracle. They took away the Aegis. That was not a bad fight for Liquid whatsoever.
No, it wasn't. And it starts because Miracle is just so hard to take down in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think they should look at him.
Yeah, please.
He's got almost 6,000 HP.
He's got a heart on him, a Ghost Scepter.
Jesus.
And they are not touching Miracle if this Wisp is alive.
And it's not like the others are easy to deal with either. Mind control with his untouchable. That's where Arteezy's already headed for every single time.
Arteezy immediately jumps on a GH. He thinks this is going to be a free kill, but that's a hard IO.
Yeah. And he's going to have a disc up next. Jump in. They already got the combination on a GH. They're looking to be able to keep him stunned with the Cursed Crown. Curl trying to get a stun in somewhere. Miracle, though, is going to be able to have that BKB activated.
Still alive.
Ryan threatens Sumail with just his physical damage. There goes the Terrorize, pushing back the 2 supports, but Miracle is still on those front lines. It's surprising how, despite not being able to stun the Storm Spirit, he just keeps on running at Storm and he just puts physical damage onto him, and sometimes it's enough. It's enough to force Sumail back.
And you see, once again, they try to go onto that GHIO. They're just not successful. And once he gets this Aeon Disc, it's not going to get any easier here. As Liquid, this is what I meant. You need to be able to brute force it. If you can't get the catch, it's your ability to just stand together as a 5-man. That'll win you this game.
And Sumail's just he has to burn through so much mana trying to make sure he doesn't get stunned or anything, and he's just not putting enough damage in.
He's going to need Arteezy with the jump. But they have to time this a lot better. When you go on GH, if he gets the Ghost Scepter off first, he'll never die. It'll take you way too long to get that kill. So somebody on their team needs to be able to get the Purge off. And that's why the Weaver is going to be his job with the Nullifier. S4 really needs this item. That'll be the next turning point for EG.
And the funny thing is, now they've got the relocate cooldown. Like, Liquid don't need to play on EG's side of the map so much. They could just kind of relocate out to these sidelines occasionally because it's always up. The hard for the Enchantress. Tank on tank on tank. And it's funny when the Venomancer is the squishiest one on the field. And yet he's got Halberd, Ghost Scepter, Hood. There's the relocate again, just to push out some of the sidelines.
Arteezy making his way down there, but he cannot kill anybody by himself. This is so problematic for his hero. The Ghost Scepters, the Hearts, the Hurricane Pikes. He jumps in a little bit too late.
The Nullifier will make a big difference once S4 has that one, but he's got to make sure he doesn't get caught first. Fortunately, with that super fast Shikuchi movement speed, he's going to pop the BKB as soon as Matumba Man threaten that Linken's.
EG 13k up. No DD rune or anything on the side of Liquid, so they're still hesitant to fight. But they see it at bottom lane. Mind Control that grabs it. Does not want to risk anybody from EG grabbing that.
Over here now.
Miracle is now giving up his top net worth slot. It's going to be Sumail, who's looking at an Aghanim Scepter. What do you think about that upgrade for the Storm Spirit?
Oh, I think it's fantastic against Liquid's lineup because they ball up together to try to take the fight.
Right.
That'll work against them once he gets the Ags.
He sort of jumps from Sumail or just push out the creep wave?
I think once he gets the Ags and once they get the Nullifier, they should be looking to take team fights.
Right. That's still going to be a bit because everyone needs to make sure that they still have buyback even after they buy their items. Speaking of buybacks, the last one from Liquids is just about to come back up. That was Matumba Man's 5 minutes ago. He's working on a BKB now.
We've got the calm before the storm right now. As you're not going to see too many pickoffs. It's just usually going to be large-scale fights when it comes to lineups like this.
Yeah. And does that next fight happen around Roshan?
Yes. Both teams need the Aegis. Liquid needed to keep it away from the Storm Spirit.
Yeah. It's not necessarily the greatest on their team, but you keep like Storm Spirit's got to be the best to have it. Divine Rapier. Okay.
Okay, Miracle says, I need to be able to just burst somebody.
Yes.
This is how you do it. Screw control. If you can just kill the side heroes on the side of EG, maybe this is how you get it done.
This is very interesting.
Yeah, it's not even a, they're not even really in a desperation position.
No.
This is playing to win.
I mean, this is also, like, no one wants to touch Miracle because he's so damn big. He is so tanky that he might as well just build up on his damage as much as possible. Who needs boots? You've got Reality Rift. You can pull the enemy to you.
Yeah, I think the best part about this, too, is he knows that GH is going to be the first target anyways.
Yeah.
So he's going to have plenty of time to get his damage off, as he's going to find an illusion rune.
And that's going to be super scary for all of Evil Geniuses, because he's also got the Reality Rift piercing the spell meter, so it's not even like a BKB, and just movement speed keeps them ahead of Miracle.
It's going to be Arteezy that has to be careful about this.
Yeah.
As he gets blown up in this game. So now it's going to be a question of who can take down who supports first.
For me, the biggest question is Miracle going to hit that big crit when he needs it?
I don't want to see... Okay, he does 1,700 damage with that crit. That is almost the entirety of S4's HP pull.
Ooh, man. Fortunately, everybody on this side of Evil Geniuses has a lot of armor, thanks to your boy Fly. And he's going to give a little bit of extra helping hand here with the level 25. I wonder if he's going to go reach in.
Well, Liquid right now, they're gathered around this Roshan pit. I think you might even want to give... you probably give the Aegis to Mind Control.
Yeah.
Give the cheese to GH as they're going to
Relocate
push out.
to pick up bounty runes. They are mega value right now.
Yeah, they give so much gold.
Stupendous.
Liquid have begun to get vision around that Roshan pit, and Roshan is coming up. 6 seconds. This is where things will finally come to a head.
The IO decided to go for the Spirits damage. He has no interest in giving that Ags. There are fantastic heroes for him to give Ag Scepter bonus to, but he understands, I'm not playing with any of you guys. I've linked up the buddy system. It's Miracle.
Miracle's not wanting to use Phantasm on him. So. Ward thrown into the Roshan pit. Liquid knows. I'm sure Evil Geniuses know as well.
Relocate. Maybe they set a trap here in EG. If they're fast enough, this is the Divine Rapier.
Here comes the jump in. They're going to try and blow up GH. If they can kill him, there's going to be no relocate. Well, with the nullifier down, they will be able to take us on it. Oh no, now going to be left alone with the Divine Rapier. He's dead. Liquid, no buyback on Miracle either. A smoke gank by Evil Geniuses. It doesn't happen at the Roshan pit.
They so
set
smart.
The trap.
They knew that Liquid anticipated them around that Roshan pit. That was such a genius play. Liquid thought they were going to take a Roshan fight. They were headed around the area. They went to deal with bottom lane. They figured that EG was going to be holed up in this top area, but EG, they went for the next level play. They thought ahead. And this is how you're going to win games against a team like Liquid.
Liquid's been doing this time and time again. They've been relocating to push out the side lanes. One of the problems was they needed that nullifier to deal with Ghost Scepter of GH's. And a smoke up together. They find that Divine Rapier. Arteezy now has it. Miracle, head in his hands, knowing that they are in serious trouble now. 30,000 gold lead for Evil Geniuses after that exchange.
EG feeling it right now.
Refresher shard for Fly. He's got the Aghanim Scepter too. So we may be seeing double infinite bouncing chain cross on top of the Phantasm of the Chaos Knight, but he doesn't even have it yet.
Watch for Sumail. He's got the Aghanim Scepter. He wants the long zip. The Lich combo with it. And this could just end Liquid in game number 1. He's got the mana pool for it. The Clarity stacked up.
Nice
the Storm looking for the zip. Here comes.
He's going to pop it, but here comes a long jump in from Sumail, landing right on top of Matub, and then only going to be able to pull in with the Cursed Ground. The chain's done. They take him out. He does have buyback, though. And with Miracle coming back up as well, Evil Genius is going to have to retreat here. They're completely slowed down. Miracle's going to be able to grab him, turn around, though. Here comes the Terrorize as well. BKB barely manages to go up. Miracle can go back in, especially with the Nova. He's going to pull Arteezy in. He knows that he's got Arteezy down. He needs to be able to get that Divine
got the Rapier.
Second life. Can Arteezy get out of here instantly inside the fight? He's going to be blown up. Sumail, then support on follow-up, but there's no damage around. A-Front's coming in. It's bouncing around. The BKB is activated as Liquid manages to split up. They take down Sumail too. It just keeps on staying on mind control of a tough event, but it doesn't matter. Liquid, they hold. They get that back to Divine Rapier and S4. He almost got caught as well.
Oh boy, Miracle came in at the last second. The perfect timing. And you saw Matub, he blinks away from the rest of his team. He drags that Chain Frost away.
Yeah. So fast. Liquid so fast on the reaction, seeing that Evil Geniuses just overextend themselves just a little bit. They see that Divine Rapier available.
And the buyout's coming in. GH going for the Aeon Disc. As S4, he's going to run into him. He's got a DD rune.
He does have that nullifier. He's got to wait until he pops the Aeon Disc. So he won't be able to go for the kill.
Miracle going to grab this tier 2 tower. And I can't believe that Liquid are still in this game despite everything that had happened. No buyback on their CK. They lost their Rapier. They gave up Aegis Cheese and Refresher Shard, and they still managed to hold.
Evil Geniuses will not be forced into a buyback here. S4 is pushing in the bottom lane enough. Liquid are a bit too scared going high ground into the Storm Spirit. They're not even going to try it. We look back at that last team fight. See, the jump in just wasn't quite what Sumail imagined, and they blew so much. The BKBs, the Enrage, and he already got the slowdown. Combined with the buyback, Liquid were in such a strong space.
And Sumail running out of mana here. He made the long zip in. All he finds is the Veno. And if you look at Matamba Man, when the Chain Frost flies in, he just tanks it for the rest of his team.
And Fly is so slow that he can't get the immediate Chain Frost. He tries to run back in.
The 5-man zip pull.
Oh, that was so pretty.
And Matamba Man, he instantly splits from his team, takes both of them over with him. The presence of mind to be able to do that in that team fight.
Yeah.
But Matamba Man, he's happy.
We head back into what seems to be a very even game. Maybe a 16,000 gold lead for Evil Geniuses, but Liquid have proved that they can take a team fight against EG. And one team fight is all it takes at this point. S4 scouting out some of these heroes, gonna be spotted here. BKB activated, relocate coming in as well. He's gotta get out. Matamba Man's trying to keep pace here, but he's too damn fast.
All the BKBs are low. Won't cost them too much. As Kuro has got to be careful here. GH gets gone on, but it's just a feint. They know that he is not an easy target. 3.8k health nearly on him.
Yeah.
Go Scepter, Aeon Disc.
A late fail for Crit. With all of this magic damage, hoping to be able to improve everybody else's. Matamba Man picks up a heart. He was one of the squishier ones, and that's why I think Sumail tried to go for him last time around to see if they could just take him out before the Poison Nova went down. Now it's going to be a lot harder. He already had the armor, now he's got the HP thanks to the heart.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
Liquid getting ran around once again. EG trying to calm themselves, reset the game a little bit. They must have been so confident about that bottom fight, especially once they grabbed Matamba Man and they had the Rapier on their hands. And this is where the game becomes a little bit tricky for them, because they know that the opportunity to lose the team fight still exists.
He's by himself. He has a Blink Dagger, managed to get away from Crit.
S4, he's on his way.
He does have a BKB as well. He needs to pop it, but he gets hit by the Nullifier first. Oh no! He is going to go down here. He does not have buyback. He's dead for 2 minutes.
This is your opportunity, EG. You have to go for it right now. Everybody gathered around this area. Sumail still has mana. No buyback on the Veno. Can Liquid hold again?
In a 4 versus 5, this is going to be so different. The Phantasm popped early here by Miracle. He does have the Blink Dagger. So everyone's got to be very nervous about that hard kind of initiation.
Just looking for one hero, he finds
him. Arteezy gets off the BKB first. They still manage to surround him with the Phantasm. Managed to get a good pull off with the Chain Frost, but the Tower Rise as well. It's going to hold the two supports together where Miracle, he's getting torn apart by Arteezy. He managed to get the kill thanks to the Bash. GH is going to die as well. He only has a buyback on a Miracle. Losing his Wish is going to cost him so much, and he doesn't have the Phantasm. He doesn't have the Divine Rapier. Evil Geniuses now control Liquid space. And S4 not even caring about mind control at this point. He's just going straight for the objectives. Sumail's gonna dip in. Doesn't really want to blow the BKB, throws out the Orchid. And they're just playing so scared even still. It's 9 down the jump in. They're gonna be able to get the Enchantress. A buyback there. But it's a 2 versus 5 in Evil Geniuses. Maybe after watching LGD try and go straight for the throne and fail, they will not do the same. They're going to try and go the super conservative route and just going for Megas. But now with the pick off onto the Enchantress, it could be big. The BKB activated first. Force that out. Mind control turning and fighting S4, forcing him to use that time lapse.
And they're still sticking around the area. There's no buybacks on their side. As Miracle pops
another
the BKB.
Gonna be blown. Arteezy looking for the Bash, trying to get it. Brambles also being laid down. The BKB lasts a little bit too long, but now the Terrorite off the pull in. Thanks to that negative step through the Chain Frost, bouncing back and forth. They are both dead, and that's it. Liquid, they have a buyback on the Wiz. Venomancer and Ogre back up, but those are not the damage dealers, and that's why Liquid are gonna call it here. Game 1 will be taken by Evil Geniuses in 64 minutes.
Gee, they were so patient. That move they made towards that bottom lane twice now. Yes. They played for the win. And now EG and Vancouver's very own is just 1 game away from knocking out the defending champions and moving on.
Evil Geniuses said, that the next time they face Liquid, they're the ones who are going to get the 2-0. Well, they've got a good start here with this first game. Liquid, it just seemed like they had the right ideas. The split push mentality.
Evil geniuses, but it also seemed to work very well against Liquid. They just struggled to get a good hold on the game. The heroes were just too slippery. And that's why our panel, it's time to talk about that game. Geniuses take it.